What's Gucci Mane? I'm back at it again. We back at it again. Life is great as always. Make progress. Progress makes success. Do yourself a favor, subscribe. Happy holidays. Yeah. Extreme Ubering. Do yourself a favor and leave a comment. Also, trying to get in contact with Dame Dash. I got some great content for him. Holla at your man. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah,
that's a low
yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
Hi. This is Damon Hall. Which one of you are Amy?
That's my girlfriend. She's one.
Okay. Oh, okay. So my apologies. I was calling to let you know that I'm here, but the gentleman is here in my vehicle, so I just assume everything went well. Thank you. All right, what's your name, big guy?
James.
James, good to see you, man.
Too.
First and foremost, all rides is recorded. You got a 20-minute ride.
Okay.
Feel free to enjoy the tablet because the tablet is free.
Okay.
How you doing this morning?
Cold.
Cold? Oh no, this ain't nothing. There ain't no snow. You know?
You're from up north?
Where's that at?
Anywhere but Florida.
Are you from Florida?
I'm from Miami. Actually.
Oh, you're from Miami, so you think this is cold, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm from been all around the places. I spent some time in Indiana. I got snow up there,
That's
and
cold.
spent a lot of time in Los Angeles. It don't never rain there. So you know, all in all, I think this is a nice medium.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not as cold as Germany. I was there for 2 years. So.
Germany.
Yeah, it was cold there.
Yeah, I heard people, you know, the Nazis and stuff, they died out there in the snow because they underestimated how cold it was.
They're not all dead.
No, I'm saying.
I was there at 92, right after the wall came down, so I went over to...
What, the Wall of Berlin?
Yeah, when it came, I think it was 89 when it came down, so we went to this place, me and some friends went over to East Germantown, and they had just got their first nightclub, and it was strange because all the cars were identical, all the buildings were identical. It looked like, if you ever been to New York, you've seen the Bronx, how all the buildings in the Bronx are the same. They kind of looked like that, and all the cars were the same color. They had these little East German Trabi cars, they called them. And so we got to this club, and right in the front door they had all these pool tables, and man, they could not play pool to save their life. It looked like a bunch of 2-year-olds trying to shoot pool.
Okay. So
they had never had a nightclub before.
culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so we got in there. It was probably about at least five of us. I can't remember exactly how many it was of us, but in the back, in the corner, they had all these Nazi skinheads, and they were just giving us bad looks all night.
Oh yeah. That would be a totally different culture.
Yeah.
I've never been that far yet. I ain't been.
Yeah, I was in Kentucky, Fort Knox.
Were you the Army?
Yeah, I was in
or the Navy?
Army.
Okay.
I did 5 years. I did 3 years at Fort Knox and 2 years overseas. But as soon as I came back to Florida, I said I'd never leave again.
Yeah.
I just don't like the cold.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm used to it in a way, you know. This is not bad. I put a sweater on and I'm good.
I think the coldest place I've ever been to is my roommate at Fort Knox was from Wisconsin, and we went up there for the holidays one Christmas, and man, that's bitter cold.
With the cheese heads.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do a bonfire.
Yeah.
They had a mountain of pallets we lit on fire one night. We were having a party.
You got to.
That thing was huge.
That's pretty much all they got to do out there.
Light fires.
Well, again, I want to thank you for riding with Uber.
Yeah, I think this is only my second time riding with Uber.
Oh yeah. It's been a little slower today. Well, I mean, just in this area. I started out closer to Atlantic Beach, so.
Did you have a lot of business yesterday with Black Friday?
Not really. Kinda, a little bit. It was consistent.
Yeah.
But today has been more like take a ride, chill for a little bit, take a ride. But normally it's like.
I think it might have something to do with the cold people. Oh my God.
Yeah. Because when you look at, they have like, they tell you like what the peak times for the day is. Like the whole day looked like it was going to be like packed. But I think they just be false predictions. But, you know, life goes on. It's okay.
How long you been doing Uber?
Consecutively for about a month.
Okay.
Yeah. I was on-call security. So, I mean, I'm still on-call security, but it's like, I make more doing Uber, so.
Yeah.
And then I can pick my own hours and.
When I got out, I went and got my Class D security license.
Yeah.
And it was just
Yeah.
they were paying back then. It was like $10 an hour.
Yeah, maybe, sort of. I don't know. I've been doing security for like 15 years. Started in Los Angeles doing it. So when I transferred here they got more workers than they got sites. So
yeah.
So it's just like.
So where do you do security at?
Wherever they tell me to go.
Like gated communities or
everywhere.
okay.
Where, like, you know, I don't. I had a permanent spot. When I only been here for a year, so I had a permanent spot. It was at Markets of the Town, if you know the town center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was working at. But pretty much anywhere they sent me, I did work at the airports, at the Marriott, St. Augustine.
I like St. Augustine. I worked there for a couple of years doing cable work.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a commute, but I liked it. But I did cable work here in Jacksonville for a while, and it was just I had to change locations. I said, "Give me something else, or I gotta go."
Yeah. Nah, it's just easier for me to do Uber. I don't be too worried about it. Try to stay in the gym. You know, health is wealth.
Yeah.
So I go in the morning, and then whenever I get off work, I go in the evening. So I'm doing like 2 a days. Yeah, I'm trying to go somewhere. So what kind of work are you doing now?
I have my own business. I've had it for about 15 years.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Tub refinishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year was great. 23 was really good, but 24 has been just horrible. And my Jeep has been broke down, so
Okay.
that's why I'm Ubering. I'm actually Ubering to my mom's, which is where I keep my trailer because they won't let me keep it in the apartments.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm going to borrow my brother's truck today. It's a short, easy job.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you gotta do to put your best foot forward, you know.
It's good money. I mean, 23 was really good. I had a lot of work, man. I did the Quality Inn in Orange Park, which is
Okay.
200 some rooms.
Okay.
So that kept me busy for about 6 months.
I like Orange Park area. That's
Yeah.
that's a really good area. Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic around like Rosenau or something.
Yeah. So okay, what was the place you said?
Quality Inn.
Quality Inn. Okay.
Right off of 295.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Then I have a guy that I've been doing stuff for about 12 years. He shifted gears and went and got in bed with a couple of investors who had apartment complexes. So it was like 3 or 4 apartment complexes on top of the hotel, on top of all my regular customers. That was pretty cool.
You sound like you was booming.
Yeah, I had to bring my brother in because it was just too much.
Okay.
And then actually got to be really a lot. So I have another friend that I've known for about 20 years. He does refinishing with his brother as well. And so I had to bring him in to take on some of the work. It was just too much.
Hey.
About 24, boy, that thing, it dried up. I got 2 jobs. I got one today and one on Monday.
Yeah.
And that's the first 2 calls I've had in close to 2 months.
Okay, we about to be in 2025.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything flips in 25.
Happy holidays. But being in business for yourself, I mean, that's monumental, you know, don't?
Yeah, that's the tough part, because when it gets slow, you're on the fence, you know, like, do I go get a regular job? But I've been just doing this for so long, working for yourself. I mean, I can make more in a day than I can in a week working anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's tough to make that call. So you just sit around, wait, and see if it picks back up. It's touch and go. It's like an Easter famine. I'll get like 10 jobs and then get nothing for a little bit.
Right.
But consistently, the first 5 years was kind of tough because you're getting established. But I do really good work, and a lot of I don't do any advertising. Everything I get is word of mouth. So
organic, yeah.
But the economy's just gotten so bad. A lot of the people I started out with, I don't even know if they're flipping anymore. I do a lot of rehabs. I haven't done a lot of apartments. I started out doing apartments. That sucked.
Yeah.
The competition's so great for that commercial industry.
Right.
So I was doing like tubs for like $100, and the work was horrible too because the conditions of the tubs were just really bad. So, but it got good.
I mean, as long as you're sharpening your iron, you know.
Well, I started out in this industry working for a company that did bathtubs since like the 70s, and they kind of over the years perfected the art of it. So they taught me everything they knew. I was there for about 2.5 years. It was a little small family-owned business, and I made them a ton of money. I was the best refinisher. They had both their sons were working for them as well, and I was better than anybody there. Made them about $300,000 since I worked there, and then they gave me a 13-cent raise.
13 cents.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I'll appreciate it. Thanks for everything, bye.
13.
So I took everything I learned. I just copied and pasted their business model. And
started swinging.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a kick in the teeth to get motivated.
Yeah, that 13 cents will do it for you, won't it?
I never was a company man. I had some opportunities here and there throughout my life, going to corporate type of things, and it was just never my cup of tea. I just didn't want to work for a big company to be another number,
Yeah.
So I try to stick to like small family-owned businesses. I worked for an apartment complex these 3 brothers owned, and they owned a lot of properties on top of that, doing maintenance. I did that for about 7.5 years, and you think you work for like a small family-owned company, and
You'll get more
family,
right?
But that never happened.
Oh, man.
So the last one I did, and it was just like another kick in the teeth. I was like, you know what? It can't be any worse working for yourself. It can't be. And that was the greatest decision I ever made.
Oh, yes.
I make my own schedule. I set my own prices.
Yeah. From the beginning to end. Yeah. And the results is based on you.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't have to worry about other people. And I don't like a lot of drama and gossip. Get into the office, atmosphere, and everybody sitting around the water cooler.
Corporate,
she said,
corporate
crap.
culture.
I don't do any of that. So working by myself. I've had a couple people on and off, my brother and another guy, but just working by myself. It's just so peaceful working by myself. I got 5 kids at the house, so when I'm working, it's like a vacation.
Oh yeah, okay. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can for sure respect that. Yeah. That's like kind of how I feel about the Uber too.
Plus, I can't find anybody to do as good a job as I do.
Oh yeah, so you don't trust nobody else to do it?
Nah, my brother, he's...
You gotta watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say I was a perfectionist, but I really pay attention to detail.
I mean, you got to.
And I guess it's a different mentality you get when you have your own business. You understand that everything's on the line when you're working. As you're working for another company, it doesn't really matter, you know?
Right. So
you bring someone in to work for you, they're never going to be in that mindset.
That's right. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I understand that. I do understand that. And it's a process. It is a process. Today, but it still kind of feels gloomy, kind of in a way. Maybe the sun will come up and more.
So you've only been in Jacksonville for a year?
Yeah. October 22nd was when I came out here.
So how you like it?
It's, as an adult, it's all the same. It's, you got the same responsibilities. I'm just thankful to be alive, you know, and an opportunity to be able to do something better. I be studying and listening to audiobooks while I'm driving and stuff.
What do you study?
The one thing that I'm fascinated about right now is like ancient civilizations.
Okay.
The hidden information and knowledge and wisdom that was of the civilizations before modern day consciousness, you know.
So are you into metaphysics at all?
Vicariously.
Yeah.
I'm more into like the Anunnakis.
Okay.
You ever heard of those guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and Atlantis, and the information, the elevated mindsets of manifesting.
Okay. So that's metaphysical. That's beyond. Metaphysics is beyond physics.
Yeah. The third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension.
What's your knowledge is? What's your because you know I'm into metaphysics big time.
Mm-hmm.
I had an experience back in 2016. Actually, two major experiences. Speaking of dimensions, I went from the third dimension to the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension in a span of 3 days. And after I had that experience, I dove in and did some unbelievable amount of research for years and years. I was married at the time and didn't have any kids, so I had a lot of free time. I spent, every waking minute actually just doing research on everything.
Yeah.
The shifting of tectonic plates to astrophysics to everything, astronomy, astrology.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when you talk about metaphysics to a third dimensional being, their perception of reality is physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you talk about dimensions, they think of it as a physical place. They're like, well, where is the fourth dimension? Where is the fifth dimension?
Right.
And it's more or less a mindset.
Yeah.
It's a rise in your awareness or consciousness. Changes your reality because you ask it. Just as an experiment, what you could do today is ask people, what is reality, and just see what their response is.
Right.
And I've asked that question to quite a few people. My current girlfriend's mom is the only one that really ever got it right. It's perspective. What do you perceive? And if you don't have that extrasensory perception, which is your pineal gland, your third eye, your ability to intake information is based on your 5 senses. So everything is physical, and therefore it defines your reality.
Okay.
So if your perspective is physical, then that's your reality.
Right.
But once you open up your pineal gland, everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
Your awareness, you can't be deceived. You understand words way better than you ever did. It was the experience that I had was absolutely profound. I'm not the same person I used to be. I'm essentially 8 years old, more or less.
Oh, well. I mean, I perceive anybody who's running their own personal business has enough maturity to understand the concepts. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll go hand in hand.
If you're into research, the devil. Here's a tip for you. The devil is in the details. And so what a lot of people do when they start, engaging in life and start doing their own research, they'll find something that's more or less either intriguing or scary. It's like a rabbit hole. And they'll dive deep into that one subject. And this is why they say the devil's in the details, because you can get lost in one thing, whereas you can get found in looking at everything. And once it clicks, once the realization that everything is connected, it's this here.
Is it here?
No, the street.
Okay, Hunter's Run?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Just the first townhouse on the right.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, so once you dive into it, that's what I started doing. I started diving into politics and whatnot at first. I was listening to talk. It's this one right here with this camper. Started listening to talk radio about 18 hours a day, and I had an episode. And then I was listening to an interview between Alex Jones and Roger Stone, and had a massive awakening where I felt like I had just bits of information in my brain, just experiences or information that I came across, and when I took in that last bit, it was like the last piece of the puzzle, and it was a synapsis that connected all my neural pathways and drew out the whole entire third dimension. So you can't see the third dimension while you're in it, just like you can't see the fifth dimension when you're in the fourth. When you're in the fourth dimension, it's not really a place of where you could put down roots. It's time. And what happens is when you come out of the third dimension, you're so enamored by it, your entire focus is on that. You're just focusing on, oh my God, they're doing that. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I did that for about 3 days. I was in a serious panic attack for 3 days. And I was so exhausted from not sleeping, not eating. I was sitting there just contemplating, how am I going to survive in this reality? And did that for about 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden I had an enlightenment experience. I'm not sure if you're familiar with dimethyltryptamine. It's an unnatural, your body produces it through your pineal gland, but you can take dimethyltryptamine and have a similar experience. But if you do it naturally, it's much more profound, I would think.
Okay.
I never did dimethyltryptamine, so I wouldn't know, but I've talked to people that have. But it's in line with your own personal path if you can do it naturally. So when I had that experience, every bit of my subconscious drained from my body. It physically felt like liquid was being poured out from me.
Wow.
And because two energies can't occupy the same space at the same time. So when my body was emptied of all basically you could equate it to giving your life over to God.
Okay.
And so I let go of all my angst, all my problems, all my worries, all my doubts, all my regrets, everything just left. And I was an open vessel. And when I had an empty space to be filled, I could feel the vastness of all that. I could feel the vastness of the universe, and the amount of love that happened was just incredible.
Wow. Okay.
And then this light came out of my chest. And so if you see these guys sitting around for 40 years with their head shaved in these orange robes and they're meditating, that's what they're trying to achieve, is a moment of enlightenment. And I had that experience by accident. And I've done a lot of research on people going through the dark night of the soul, which is basically coming out of the third dimension and being in a state of panic, more or less, or fear for very long periods of time, years, decades. And I only did it 3 days.
Wow.
So I just changed, and all I did was basically change my attention from the physical world and the drama that's playing out to the metaphysical world.
Okay.
And I actually got a course. I signed up for college at the University of Metaphysics in Sedona.
And you started studying it heavy.
It was very weird because when you become enlightened, there's a sense of knowing because of that experience. The only way to know something is to experience it. Now, I can tell you everything I know, but you're not really going to know it until you have that experience. And when you go through that moment of enlightenment, it's like they dropped the Library of Alexandria on you. And so when I went and took this course, it was so bizarre because I went and took this course for metaphysics to become a reverend of metaphysics. And as soon as I started taking the course, I knew everything. I knew everything. So I felt like I was cheating, more or less. I was like, okay, I'll just fake that I know the answer. I don't know the answer, right? And then so I did that for a while, and then I took another course online. It's called Neuro-Linguistics Programming. That's really a cool thing. So I started taking that, and I already knew all that. So it was weird. Once you become enlightened, everything just becomes so clear. The veil of the truth is an illusion. Okay, so when you're born, they give you a name, right? And so then you're labeled, and you think you're this physical being, and
you're defending it your whole life.
And well, it's just everybody calls you by your name. It's reinforced by everyone else around you who thinks the same exact way. So you're just kind of in that mindset that this is what I am. I'm going to live, and then I'm going to die, and that's going to be it. But the truth of it is that you are immortal. You are forever. Your body's going to die. But we're just here incarnated into these bodies having a human experience.
Human experience, yeah.
So it's hard being human and fifth dimensional at the same time because you are incarnated into a body and you are energetically entangled with people in your family, people you love, and there's that exchange of energy that gives you an experience. So you have to differentiate the human experience from that which you are, and the best way to do that is to meditate. So the purpose of meditation is to be in two places at the same time, to be present in your physical body without the confines of your mind controlling your experience. You're breaking away from your mind. So the first time I ever did it, I looked up online how to meditate, and I came across this 60-second video, which was great. They said just get a comfortable position and focus on your breath, the air going in and out of your nose, right? And what's going to happen is you're focused on the breathing, that your mind is thinking of the breathing. But then all of a sudden it's going to wander. You're going to start thinking about elephants. And it's a natural thing. So what you do is you go, okay, I'm thinking about elephants. Let me go back to this. And you're going to have that struggle between being focused on your breathing and then just thinking of random things. You're going to keep going back and forth until you separate your experience in the now from your mind, and there you are. You're having an experience without your mind controlling your experience.
Okay.
And you know how you ever hear the saying, I had to lose my mind to find myself?
Okay.
That's the truth of it. You have to lose your mind in order to find yourself, because when you're conscious, your mind controls everything. So I'm glad I lost my mind.
Yeah. This is wonderful.
I was 50 years old.
Okay.
I was 50 years old. My wife had a business. I had a business.
Yeah.
I had a home. I had no kids. Not really a whole lot of responsibilities. More free time than anyone on the planet. Got divorced. Got with a girl 13 years younger than me who had 5 kids and a grandson. And everyone's, have you lost your mind? I said, yeah.
Kind of. Hey, look, you have a wonderful and blessed day.
Metaphysics.
Metaphysics. I'm gonna start listening to it now.
If you have a lot of free time, when you're doing research and you're seeking truth, is what you sound like you're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to get truth that they haven't told us about. It's harder to do now because of the censorship, and they've gotten rid of a lot of stuff online. But just, I mean, anything. Just peruse the internet. I was perusing just crazy things. I started reading about the shifting of the tectonic plates, and what you find out, if you can get to the truth, is that everything they're telling you is a lie.
I understand.
The truth is so hidden, it's ridiculous. They know the secrets to the universe. They just haven't told us yet.
They're hoarding it.
But disclosure's coming very soon.
They're hoarding the information.
Well, that's why they burned down the Library of Alexandria. They read what they needed and said, okay, burn it.
And then they got more stuff in the Vatican.
Oh, the Vatican's crazy. Well, there's three sources of power: the Vatican, Washington D.C., and London. The money, military, and religion. Those three entities are, if you look it up, they're cities within states that are outside the laws of the world.
Right.
Washington D.C., London, and Vatican City. They're not adhering to any laws.
Right.
So.
Hold on. Tell me the three things again.
Vatican City, London is the money, the Bank of London, and the military industrial complex, which is the United States. I mean, think about it. You had Rome, who was around for how many years? 4,000 years. Okay. How long has the United States been around? 250 years.
Okay.
In 250 years, we've created the greatest nation in the history of the world. And what was America? Built by immigrants who came over here with nothing. You always talk about, oh, my parents came over here with nothing and built their wealth. Well, how did a bunch of poor people come to America with nothing and build the greatest country the world has ever seen? That wasn't by accident. It was actually by design by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. They built the American Medical Association. They built the college institutions. They built the Rust Belt, which is now the Rust Belt, the industry, and it was that plan. They've been planning this. The plan that was actually getting dismantled right now, but the plan that they wanted was in place for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The same people have been controlling the planet for thousands of years. They're actually getting pushed out right now. This is why it's the greatest time in human history we're alive. We're going through a full astrological age. As human beings, we, back 5,000 years ago when the pyramids were being built, we were at a level of consciousness that is higher than where we are now. People were living longer and so forth. The world wasn't as polluted as it is now too, so that helped. But in our entire existence, we've always been in a level of dissension consciously, descending into darkness, into the dark ages, right? And we knew that going in. So they built the pyramids to stand the test of time, to let us know that we were enlightened back then. But now we're coming out of it, and we're finally, for the first time in our experience here on Earth, we're in ascension. Our consciousness is rising. We're becoming more aware. And so, yeah, it's the greatest time to be alive, man.
Hallelujah.
I got my approach down a little bit better. I mean, it doesn't matter what anybody talks to me about, it'll come back to metaphysics. Years ago, when I first woke up, I wasn't as grounded as I am now, so I'd freak people out. I remember talking to this one guy. He came by to look at his tub. He was having the whole place redone. I was there. He was some yuppie. He had his coffee in his briefcase and everything. So I started talking to him, and an hour passed, and he just sat there with his coffee the whole time with his jaw on the ground. I really gave it to him. I wasn't meaning to do it, but I just did. And he's like, fuck, I didn't know my day was going to be like this. The guy would never call me back. I totally freaked him out.
Hey, well, I be trying to get saturated, and I can discern if it's accurate information. That's why I'm like, yeah, man, you definitely are on point. I'm sure.
This is you know how they say, be the light in the darkness?
Yes.
Okay, so light is information. Darkness is lack of information. So that's me being the light in the darkness, just sharing information. But information is crucial, man.
Yeah.
But when you dive into something and it piques your interest, don't go to the depths of all of it, because you're wasting your time. Get what you want out of it and move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. And if you do enough of that, like when I was listening to talk radio, I'll be real quick. These guys that I work for were real political, and I was kind of dumb in that arena, so I started diving into it so I could be a little bit more intellectual in conversations with them. So I started listening to talk radio, like 18 hours a day.
Mm.
Neil Bortz, all the way to 3 o'clock in the morning to Dr. Savage. And I was doing that for like 6 months. And I was on my way to work one morning, and I'd always try to get to this one spot on the highway where I could see the sun coming up in this open field. It was like about 7 o'clock in the morning. I looked over, saw the sun coming up, and then it hit me. It freaked me out. I turned my radio off. I went home and told my wife, I said, no more news. I don't want to know anything. And what I discovered was listening to one individual after the next every day, and the problems that they were talking about. This guy would talk about 5 things. This guy would talk about 5 things. This guy would talk about 5 things. And then it was a daily thing. Boom, 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 boom. And it just hit me like a brick. They owned and controlled everything. And it really scared me. But another trick to ascension is if something scares you, go right at it. Don't be afraid of it. Because fear is just a feeling.
Yeah.
Like love and happiness and sadness. Fear is it's nothing more than a feeling. It's internal. It's not out here. When I was going through my 3 days of Dark Night of the Soul, everything that I was experiencing was internal. I was panicking. I thought the world was coming to an end, and everything out here was just as calm as this morning is.
Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, that'll bring you to it. Fear is a great motivator.
Okay. All right. Big blessings, hey.
All right, you have a good one, man.
All right. Hey, we back at it again. Y'all know what it is, man. Real true information, man. That was a real wise man. Oh God. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Like and subscribe, man. On gang.